Hi sunflowers and bloomers, it's Martina here at Bloom Beyond. Welcome to this meditation and emotional freedom technique session for procrastination. Now, we help high performers create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind, right? And one of the ways in which we do that is through the Bloom Beyond Perfectionism program, which you can only, get to know better through joining the Bloom Beyond tribe. So you can go to bloombeyond.com/apply to apply to join that tribe right there, right? But the way that we kind of work with perfectionism and procrastination is that we really go into the subconscious mind to sow new seeds in there, right? To be able to replace the existing procrastination and perfectionism patterns of thinking, being, and acting, right? And so one of the ways in which we do this is through meditation and emotional freedom techniques. And I wanted to give you a kind of session today to be able to actually work through some of the resistance, which actually procrastination is. Procrastination is nothing more, nothing less than resistance. And resistance is a kind of energy that is simply stuck, that is not moving or not moving in a flowy way, basically. You know, when we're not procrastinating, when we're in our optimal state of being, our energy is flowing. And there's more of a connection with the body, and you're not living in your head to the same extent in which you do when you oftentimes fall into procrastination, right? So with this meditation and the emotional freedom techniques that we're going to do together, we're simply aligning the energy so that it flows more fluently, so that you can use that energy into whatever you've got on your mind that you'd like to do, okay? Now, we may be procrastinating on a lot of different things, right? And there are different ways to procrastinate too, which oftentimes it can be kind of hard to pinpoint what it is exactly that we are procrastinating on or how we are procrastinating, right? But it's very subtle, and oftentimes it is also kind of a pattern of behavior in which you might think of as productive in some sense, right? But it's not what it actually is, what you want to do. So sometimes you actually do something which is hard to detect as procrastination because you get some sort of dopamine hit, right? From the kind of thing that you're doing, even though that it's not what it is that you were intending to do. You're still doing something. That is kind of busyness procrastination, right? Or kind of distraction procrastination. See? That one is probably the most common one for high performers, where you have kind of a certain image in your mind of what it is that you want to do, but it becomes so much attachment. There's so much attachment to how things are meant to unfold and the things that you're going to have in place before you actually take action, to the point where it creates an enormous amount of resistance to that, so that you fall into procrastination instead, because your nervous system is not able to handle that amount of pressure, right? But it's mental pressure, that's all it is. It's a mental illusion, really. So let's go ahead and center ourselves right now to first do the meditation, and then we're gonna release any kind of emotion that comes up from that as well, that is connected to or correlated with procrastination, all right? So find yourself a comfortable position. I like to sit with my feet crossed or firmly planted on the ground to connect with the earth, with my hands and with your hands just firmly planted here as well to feel grounded right now. And just allow yourself to be here now. Connect with your breath and simply observe yourself sitting here, and you are more than welcome to close your eyes. And you can simply follow the guidance of my voice. As you come into stillness, simply notice the sounds around you and allow them to carry you deeper and further into a state of calm right now. Allow your heartbeat, the sound of my voice, and any other noise to carry you deeper and further into a state of calm. Allow your breath to be what it is. And this meditation is on procrastination. So, the moment you hear the word procrastination, notice what comes up for you. What emotions comes up for you? What events come up for you? What thoughts come up for you about procrastination? Simply ask yourself, how do I feel about procrastination? Oftentimes, as a high performer, you might feel shame, guilt, even fear around procrastination. Like it's beyond you. Like you're not able to handle your procrastination. Like the procrastination is overwhelming you. So allow whatever come up for you to come up when you hear the word procrastination. Ask yourself, in what ways have I been procrastinating? In what ways have procrastination visited my life and business? As you allow the answers to come to you through images, through words, through sensations, just observe that. And breathe deep into your belly. Notice if there is anything that you label your engagement in procrastination or with procrastination. Do you label yourself something? Do you label yourself something for procrastinating? Just observe that. Bring yourself back in time, all the way back in time to the first time, or one of the first times that you can remember yourself procrastinating. Procrastinating on something that you wanted to do, but didn't do. Or didn't do on time. And you don't have to do anything, it will just come to you. Whatever comes to you, just breathe through that. Now ask yourself, in this moment that I picture in my mind now, how might I have faced the procrastination differently? How would I like to respond to procrastination? Would you like to observe the procrastination without attaching yourself to it, falling into it? What would you do instead? Picture yourself responding to procrastination, or the feeling that you're meant to procrastinate. Picture yourself responding differently than what you did. And now, as I click my fingers, you will allow that response to procrastination to float all the way back to now. As I count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way back to now. On your timeline, just see yourself coming back to now. How do you respond differently now? Whenever you feel tempted to procrastinate, how do you respond differently now? See that in your mind. Feel whatever you feel instead of procrastination, whether it be inspiration, motivation, or simply neutrality. What would you like to feel around the priority that you have, the priorities that you have for what you would like to do? What would you like to feel? What are you feeling now? That would help you respond differently moving forward, all the way from now into infinity. Allow that to come to you. Now, wiggle your fingers and toes. You can move your neck a little bit, And take a deep breath. Tune into your surroundings. With total mental clarity around how you will respond differently to any temptation of procrastination moving forward. Bring all of that mental clarity back to now. Beautiful. Now we're going to release all that energy that came up for you as you pondered upon procrastination. And we're going to release it through emotional freedom techniques, which works with the energy centers, the meridians and the chakras in the body, centered along your spine. And you can simply just follow along with the tapping that we're going to do and the statements of truth and the words of affirmation that we're to speak out loud. Okay? So we have several meridians. We have on top of the head, under the eyes, under the nose, on the chin, as well as the cheekbones and or the collarbones, collarbones, and under the arms. So I invite you to just follow along with me. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, I deeply love and accept myself. Allow whatever emotion to come up. It could be numbness, it could be that you're annoyed, it could be that you're frustrated, it could be anger, it could be any kind of emotion, shame, guilt. Just breathe. And let's continue. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, overthink, overplan, overconsume information, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, overthink, overplan, overconsume information, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, overthink, overplan, overconsume information, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, overthink, overplan, overconsume information, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, overthink, overplan, overconsume information, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate, overthink, overplan, overconsume information. I deeply love and accept myself. Allow all the energy to dissolve and align. One last time. Even though I sometimes procrastinate and beat myself up over procrastinating, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate and beat myself up over procrastinating, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate and beat myself up over procrastinating, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate and sometimes beat myself up over procrastinating, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate and beat myself up over procrastinating, I deeply love and accept myself. Even though I sometimes procrastinate and beat myself up over procrastinating, I deeply love and accept myself. Breathe. Allow the energy to settle. How much lighter do you feel now? This is the purpose with emotional freedom techniques. It's to release the procrastination and the kind of emotions attached to it, to allow yourself to come into a state of equilibrium energetically, mentally, emotionally, because it is from that place in which you can act from, or alignment with your values and what you want to do. Now I wanted to wrap it up by simply asking you, what are your values? What are your values? What do you value? Consider that, because it is from these values that you can take aligned action. Once you know what your values are and you have positive emotion, uplifting emotion, expansive emotion around what it is that you want to do, that you actually can take spiritually aligned action beyond procrastinating, beyond procrastination. So consider what your values are. Consider what emotions do you want to feel as you take spiritually aligned action, right? And step into the identity of the sunflower and the bloomer that you truly are, that takes spiritually aligned action. Meaning that you take aligned action to your values, because you are actually creating and co-creating with the universe, with that in which you truly are, the essence within you, when you are aligned with your values. So allow yourself to simply bring these uplifting emotions with you moving forward as you take spiritually aligned action, and have more mental, emotional, energetic clarity around everything that you do. In the Bloom Beyond tribe, with other sunflowers and bloomers, you can receive coaching and guidance on how to overcome procrastination, right? Create a life and business of freedom from perfectionism with the power of the subconscious mind. By going to bloombeyond.com/apply, you can apply now. And we would love to help you out if we see that we're in alignment, right? We can serve you and help you and support you. There is a waiting time. We have a 256 members limit to this tribe and group, right? So keep that in mind, that there are many high performers wanting to join this and receive help and guidance around this. But again, go to bloombeyond.com/apply to apply, and we might see you on the other side. Until then, stay bright, brave, and balanced.